This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this Saturday morning. I'm Deidre Johnson. This morning on Sunrise, we sit down with City Commissioner and candidate for Mayor Mingus Mapps, how he plans to address Portland's homeless crisis if elected. And pharmacies have stopped filling opioid prescriptions, leaving patients scrambling to find alternatives. But first, let's check in with Daisy Caballero for a quick look at the forecast.
Hey, good morning, Deidre. And hey, good morning to all of our viewers. Wanted to take you out to the beautiful Oregon coast, Lincoln City specifically, where we're actually seeing pretty comfortable conditions, 48 degrees right now, and those winds are calm for the time being. Now, as we're looking at this next weather maker that has already arrived to the coast and up and down the I-5 corridor, we're also expecting to see pretty breezy conditions for today for really in our entire region. But as we're looking here, we're starting to see that battleground. Parts of Portland, Canby, and Woodburn are starting to get a little bit of that rain action this morning. And don't worry, more is on the way. Currently 46 degrees. Last check out at PDX. No low visibility issues if you are planning to travel up and down the I-5 corridor for the time being. So of course, great news here. Quick look at your current temperatures. 41 out in King City, 45 for Westland. And we are starting to see those upper 40s, mid 40s up and down the I-5 corridor, and then also for the coastline as well. So your day at a glance, Portland, those the rain will actually transition into showers for the second half of our day. Daytime highs in the low 50s, but near 70 degrees is on the way for us here in the Rose City. We'll talk about when that's happening coming up.
All right, thanks so much, Daisy. Well, a heads up on weekend traffic. Highway 217 will be closed overnight tonight between Highway 99 and Northwest Greenberg Road. The closure starts at 11 p.m. and lasts until 8 a.m. Sunday. Several roads will also be closed during that time. The closure is part of the 217 Auxiliary Lane project, which is halfway done. Well, it's no surprise that homelessness will be one of the big topics locally this election year. And we want to hear how the candidates running for Portland mayor will address the problem. Over the next few weeks, we'll bring you interviews with top candidates. To start, KGW's Blair Best sat down with Commissioner Mingus Mapps.
Improving, but still troubled.
As a longtime Portlander, city commissioner and mayoral candidate Mingus Mapps can't say he's proud of what Portland has become.
If we don't get better fast, the city could fail. This is an inflection point for Portland.
On your campaign website, it says, "I have a vision to make Portland the best run city in the United States." What is that vision?
Oh, great. Well, this is a unique opportunity and moment in the history of Portland. One of the things that will happen on January 1st, 2025 is that we'll have a new form of government. One of the things that we have to do is, all 24 bureaus within the city have to be synced up and working and pulling in the same direction. And that historically has not been the way Portland operates. And frankly, that's one of the reasons why downtown Portland in particular looks the way it does.
So under your leadership, if elected, will people still be sleeping on the sidewalks?
We're going to see every year, we're going to see fewer and fewer people sleeping on the sidewalks. This problem has exploded over the last several years. The metric I'm committed to holding myself accountable to is seeing the absolute number of people who are sleeping on our sidewalks decrease over time. I'd like to see it shrink by at least half in our first 4 years. And I know a lot of people will be skeptical of that. I will tell you that's actually achievable.
So you talk about continuing to remove camps.
Yep.
But what about a place for them to go?
Absolutely. Well, this is an important thing. We've got 6,000 people sleeping on the streets, probably in about 1,000 camps. Right now, the city is probably moving about 500 camps a month. And every time we go out to a camp or to an RV, we let folks know, listen, you need to move here. We try to connect them with services.
Even though services are limited, he points to the city-led tiny home villages as part of the solution. He wants to make that program a county responsibility.
One of the conversations that the next mayor needs to have is to make sure that the county takes over this work so that, I and future commissioners on council can focus in on parks and roads and delivering safe water and keeping our rivers clean.
And is it really just financial reasons that you'd want the county to take all of that over?
Well, number one, this is really appropriately their work. The city does the things that are on the names of our bureaus: parks, water, cops, fire. Human services really isn't part of our portfolio. In the last couple of years, we've gotten into that work, frankly, because the county has struggled so much. That's bad government, and frankly, we're not really well equipped for this, and we don't have the funding for it.
And just lastly here, what do you have to say about people who have just completely lost faith in our local government?
I hear you, and I'll tell you, elections matter. We have to make some choices about what our future is going to look like. If we stick with the status quo and allow folks to, frankly, die in our streets by the hundreds every year, Portland will be a ghost town. Detroit will be our future. That does not need to be our future. Frankly, I believe that Portland is one of the best cities in North America. We've came through some challenges, but we can be in the lead again, and I'm deeply committed to making sure that we get there.
We've reached out to other candidates as well. We'll talk with Commissioner Carmen Rubio later this month and are still waiting to hear back from Commissioner Renee Gonzalez. Hundreds of people in Longview who rely on opioid medications for chronic pain have struggled to get medication for months. And now more and more pharmacies have stopped refilling prescriptions. Thomas Schultz has the details.
I'd rather be out doing something than sit in a rocking chair looking out a window.
For more than 20 years, Mark Davison has been a patient of Dr. Richard Kirkpatrick. And for 8 years, Davison has been on opioid medications for chronic pain.
My back has been gone. I've got cancer. I've got quite a few other things.
Like arthritis and shoulder bones scraping against each other. And for years, he filled prescriptions at Safeway. But that's changed. Over the past 2 years, chain pharmacies have stopped filling Kirkpatrick's opioid prescriptions.
And then December 15th, Safeway abruptly stopped.
And then all of a sudden came up, they wouldn't fill it no more.
And patients were left scrambling to find another pharmacy. Davison is working to get his filled through an independent pharmacy. But to fill opioid prescriptions, he says the pharmacy requires all his medications go through them. For 3 months, he's tried to switch over prescriptions, though Sunday, he ran out of opioid medication. Other patients in similar situations are turning to desperate measures.
Some of them are going out on the streets and getting heroin.
Kirkpatrick says chain pharmacies stopped filling prescriptions due to a 2021 national opioid settlement, which created red flag thresholds for opioid prescriptions. Kirkpatrick says flags are raised if pharmacies prescribe an inordinate share of opioids in their areas. But when many pharmacies stopped filling opioid prescriptions from Kirkpatrick's office, he was forced to turn to a smaller number of pharmacies for more orders, creating a cascading effect of flags being triggered. Recently, he says Cardinal Health, the drug distributor in Longview, has told independent pharmacies not to honor Kirkpatrick's opioid prescriptions.
So that just takes us right out because we have a lot of patients that no one else will take care of.
A local pharmacist told us he agrees with Kirkpatrick. Many patients aren't being adequately served. Kirkpatrick says he's reached out to Cardinal Health, but nothing changed. We asked the distributor for an interview too. We never heard back. And over time, Kirkpatrick has taken on more patients with chronic problems because other doctors won't prescribe opioids. Instead, he says doctors offer treatments like therapy and acupuncture.
The other options are perceived by the patients as being uncaring.
Leaving many patients like Cheryl Sharkey.
I've had back surgery. I've had knees replaced, shoulder replaced, metal in my arms, broken wrist, you name it.
Uncertain what's in store for their future.
Cheryl Sharkey, like some others, hasn't been able to get her medication. Doctors say some patients are buying fentanyl to cope with their pain.